Hello and welcome to Coffee Chats. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Sarah, and this is the Summer Lovin Book Tag.
We were tagged to do this by Laura Rose Reviews, and we will link her video down below. She's the bomb. So the first question for this tag is start of summer, pick a book with a great first sentence. I picked a book that is getting a lot of hype right now because the movie just came out, and that is Paper Towns by John Green. And the first sentence in this, which is actually verbatim in the movie, is the way I figure it, everyone gets a miracle. And I just really love this whole first passage about how once in your life you're going to get some sort of miracle, and how Quentin's miracle in this book is living next door to Margot Roth Spiegelman. And yeah, I just really adore that concept, and this is also my favorite John Green book.
So I picked a book that's one of my absolute favorites. It's The Ring of Solomon by Jonathan Stroud. And the first sentence, it's more like the first couple of sentences are just really pretty. It's sunset above the olive groves. The sky, like a bashful youth kissed for the first time, blushed with a pink light. The next one is Too Hot to Go Out to pick a book for a day in, and I went with A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Morgan and I both went with the same idea of just picking something that we actually did read in one day, and this is a really short read. It took me like maybe a couple of hours, but it's really good.
So good. I picked Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, and this book is so great, and I think I've only ever read it once, but I read it in one sitting in like 2 or 3 hours, and it was brilliant, and I will forever love it, and I should really reread it soon. The next question is Summer Road Trip. Pick a book you would take with you on the road. And I picked Clockwork Prince, which maybe seems a little bit random, but A, it meets my mentioning Shadowhunters in a video quota, and B, I recently did take this on the road with me. One of our best friends and I went on kind of a road trip, just a really long drive, and we got the audiobook for this, and it is wonderful. Most of it's read by Ed Westwick, who you might know from Gossip Girl. Apparently in real life, he's British and has like the hottest voice, and it's so great. And I'm finishing the very end in the form of the actual book, and I just cannot express to you how much I love The Infernal Devices. Favorite series, oh my gosh, it is flawless.
And I went with the Allama Series by Tamora Pierce, as per mentioning our favorite series like once per video. I picked these because I actually do bring them on road trips a lot. I have the first couple as ebooks, and I've read them on multiple trips because they're something that I'm really familiar with, so if I need to pause it in the middle, it's not a big deal, but they still really capture my attention, so I think that's a good balance. The next one is Iced Tea Goodness, pick a book with a cold setting. I had a harder time figuring this one out, but I ended up with Point Blank, which is part of the Alex Rider series. This is actually the second book, which is my favorite of the series. I haven't read these in a really long time. I think I read them in middle school or maybe like freshman year, but I was really into them for a very long time.
I picked one that I feel like is really a pretty stereotypical wintry book, and that is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I'm sure you're all at least somewhat familiar with this series, but the land is stuck in an eternal winter when they arrive there, so it fits perfectly. The next question is Nasty Sunburn, a book that you have really disliked so far this year. And just because I went for a trifecta of bashing this book 3 videos in a row, I went with Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. I'm really not a big fan, and you might have even heard me rant about it in both of the past 2 videos. Oops.
I went with The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I didn't hate this book. I almost considered going with something else, but I hadn't really read anything else this year that I thought was really terrible, and this one was okay. Like, I really love the author, so I was expecting a lot out of it, but it just didn't really do anything for me. It was kind of like nothing original happened and nothing bad happened. It was just kind of like, eh.
It's it's mediocre. Like, I feel like that is 100% how I would describe that book. It's not offensive, but it's mediocre.
Yeah, like there's nothing in it that I was like, that's a very cool concept, and I would read it just for that. Like, it was just the average elemental magic school thing. I went with The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud because I totally do not mention him enough, and I'm not trying to force everybody who watches our videos to read his books because nobody gives him the love that he deserves. But I really like this one. It's set in London. It follows, like, I think they're about 12. They're ghost hunters. I kind of think of it as like a mix between like Sherlock and Supernatural.
For
How I
kids.
describe it. Like, for kids. I like it. It's an interesting mix, but it's really good.
I picked the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull, and you might have heard this is one of my like all-time favorite series. It's great. This happens to be the 5th book that I'm holding, but all 5 are wonderful. They're kind of like middle grade, I would say, but they are just fantasy amazingness. They're perfect, and once again, not enough people have read them, so get on this. You will have no regrets. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you to Laura Rose for tagging us, and we'll tag a couple of people down below. We'll also have some more links of places you can find us on the internet down below, and we will see you guys soon. Bye!